But today I'm going to talk to you about Shiva in the 21st century, but more with the book that I just came out with and read some passages from there, and also show you some slides that will complement what I'm going to be saying. But just a little bit of introduction to how I got so excited about Shiva once again, actually the 7th time since I've written these books about Shiva, time and again. So what strikes me the most and what is so fascinating to me about India is that we seem to find the singular anathema. We just don't like anything in the singular, whether it is cuisines, attire, whether it is languages, scripts, whether it's dialects, and whether it's gods, where you're supposed to be having, like I said in my lecture yesterday, 350 million gods and goddesses, so many gods and goddesses. But a person, a god, who actually epitomizes this whole idea of multiplicity, nobody could do it better than Shiva. Because when you look at Shiva, he has so many manifestations, and so Shiva is Nataraj, the dancing god, he's Carver, the scary one, and he's Dakshinamurti, the great teacher, and then he's Shankara, the beneficent one, and then of course you have endless amount of names, and it's not just the names, it's actually what he represents. They all are opposite to each other, so he just becomes this great paradoxical and ambivalent kind of god, which truly fascinates us. But what I find is, when I look into his mythology, I find that there is something that goes beyond just what a historian or a theologian would do with those myths. It's something that I thought could apply in our daily lives. And that's how this book came about. Penguin approached me because I had made some films which sold worldwide, in which I collaborated with this young businessman, and he said, why don't you just lecture about these gods and tell us what can we take from these gods, their stories, for instance, and how do we use them in our daily lives to improve our daily lives. So we did it. The movies were a success. They sold worldwide. We got a lot of fan mail telling us, people who were not even Hindus, in fact, most of them were not Hindus, from about 85 countries, 500,000 followers, and all of them sort of like receiving these letters about Shiva, things that I had told people who were then writing them for me, and they were absolutely loving the program, the films. And so then Penguin approached me and said, why don't you write a book? Why don't you tell us about how we can have Shiva in our daily lives? And I said, sure, let's try and do it. And it's just been about a month and a half, but I've just been getting such wonderful reviews. All the 6 books that I have written before have not given me this kind of happiness, where, a student of mine, her mother is dying of cancer in the 4th stage, and she just doesn't feel like coming to college, and she read one page of what I had written about Ekagrata, one-minded focus. And she said, I read that and I feel every day I need to come to college no matter what's happening at home. And things like that, the kind of feedback that I've been getting is just marvelous in just a month's time. So I'm very happy to share just 1 or 2 passages of the book. We can start seeing the slides, and I can start telling you some of the myths that have influenced me so strongly. What makes Shiva an ascetic when he enjoys all worldly pleasures? His asceticism seems to lie in his ability to control and regulate his mind and emotions. Shiva detaches himself and epitomizes introspection. We can see it in his encounters with other deities. He does not get into petty fights with Brahma or others or over matters such as who is the greatest among them all. Instead, he comes to the rescue of deities when there is complete chaos and disorder. He is a stabilizing force because he has that power of mind which enables him to have the best of both worlds, materially and spiritually. Shiva represents how it is possible to be engaged outside and detached inside. Modern conventional education, regretfully, does not focus on assisting the mind in different stages of growth, nor does it provide guidelines for transformation and preparation for all that life will throw at us. Yet, in order to lead the best life, it should be looked upon as one long process of evolution, gathering along the way skills we need to thrive, not just exist. So we'll come to it in a moment, is how Shiva is worshipped as Ardhanarishwara. And Ardhanarishwara is, the actual meaning is Ardha, half, Nari is woman, Ishvara is Shiva. Whenever the name of a god ends with Ishvara, that means it's Shiva, not Vishnu, not Brahma, not any of the others. So Ardhanarishwara is a very exciting, because it's a composite theme. It's a composite theme. It's the coming together, the merging of the male and the female. So in one body form, one anthropomorphic form, the right half is always the male, that is Shiva, and the left half is the female. So literally the left half will have one breast, and then you have Shiva on one side and the other half. And it's just interesting how he became, oh, you're looking for Ardhanarishwara today. So it's interesting how he became this, and I looked, what is the myth behind it? And just one very remote Tamil temple lore was there. Okay, nowhere else. I didn't find it in the Purans, I didn't find it anywhere else, and I found it finally in the temple lore. And what was happening was, it seems, and it's something for us to learn, because when I've written a full chapter on coupledom, Shiva and Parvati are the ultimate couple. They love each other so much, but the love is always fraught. They are always having arguments, discussions, disagreeing with each other, and I am saying in this book that that's the way it should be, because that's how you're going to reconcile with each other. Don't push things under the carpet. Now, here you're going to see in Ardhanarishwara, this is Ardhanarishwara, you can see the one breast here, and then he's non-breasted on the other side, on the right-hand side, and she has that little lachak on the side, the way her waist is curving over there, and she has the mirror there looking at herself, the vanity. It's not just vanity of looking at yourself, but the mirror, whenever you see the darpan in the sculptures like this, it means that, she is looking at the love that she has for her husband in her eyes. So that's also one way of, mirroring, literally, the pun not intended. Now, how Ardhanarishwara seems to come about is that it seems that there's this pugnacious follower of Shiva, and his name is Bringi, and he sort of only worships Shiva. Now, this also tells us about sectarian religion, that there are followers just of Shiva, and they don't want to worship anyone else. There are Vishnu, they don't want to worship anyone else but Vishnu. So he's a follower of Shiva. And Shiva gets married to Parvati. Parvati is a very powerful goddess. So both of them are standing there, and all the followers are coming one by one. The bhakts are coming and circumambulating them. The best way to do worship of the god and goddess is to circumambulate. So circumambulating them, touching their feet, and going away. Then comes Bringi. Now, Bringi cannot stand the fact that Parvati is standing on the same podium as his beloved god, that is Shiva. So he circumambulates only Shiva. She's enraged. Her ego, it rises, and she says, how dare he do that? Now, so what can I do about this? He's just circumambulated my husband and gone away and insulted me. So she goes, and the best way to get whatever you want in the celestial world and even in the worldly world is to do tapas. Asceticism, deprive yourself, go into the forest, don't eat anything, just sit there and meditate. She does exactly that. The gods have to bow to you. The moment you do tapas, the gods will come. You can be a demon, you can be a terrible person, the god will come and say, ask for what you want, I will give it to you. So Shiva says, oh Parvati, you've done such wonderful tapas, what do you want? She said, I love you so much, can I please be joined? Can I be half of your body? So Shiva is Bholenath. That he's also supposed to be the innocent one. Oh yeah, sure, you've done so much of wonderful tapas, come be half of my body. So they merge. So the half and half merge. And so she stands there now. She's half his body. And all the worshippers are coming one by one. And Bringi comes along with everyone else. He looks at them and he says, what is this? And you won't believe it. He doesn't circumambulate. He goes away and then he does the tapas. And what does he ask for? I want to be a bumblebee. Bringi in Kannada actually means a beetle. I want to be a bug. I want to be an insect. He comes back, he's granted that insect, you won't believe it, he comes back, he pierces a hole right here between the two of them, and he only circumambulates Shiva's half of the body. And look at it is a lore, it's just a folklore, it's just a myth, and it's just so fascinating. It's not in any of the Purans, but it's the only real story that I get. Why did they merge together? What was the reason behind it? So look at how the human mind has worked. That there's an ego problem between these two. And then so in my other book, what I wrote was, actually Parvati gets very annoyed in the lore. But I said that, she bows to Bringi then and says, oh, you're the greatest follower of them all. And I bow to you because of the worshipful attitude that you have towards Shiva. But it shows that India also suffered a lot from sectarian rivalry. There's always been a lot of cultic tension between the different deities, including Shiva and Parvati. Sama means equal, and rasa is essence and bliss. So, samarasa refers to equal bliss. It means having a kind of equipoise or equal feeling, in a manner of speaking, being in a state of harmony and non-discrimination. For me, and for the purpose of this chapter, it translates as an ideal relationship with a partner. In our religious sphere, the majority of dominant deities are couples. Saraswati and Brahma, Sita and Ram, Radha and Krishna, Lakshmi and Vishnu, and of course, Parvati and Shiva. We clearly have a preference for twosomes and like to see our gods married, or at least with a partner. To further validate this point, there are epithets that consist of conjoined names and give prominence to the spouse, as is seen with Shiva. In various epithets where his wife's name significantly appears first, he is Girijapati, Uma Maheshwar, Bhavanipati, Umapati, Gauri Shankar, to cite a few. These names illustrate the importance of the coupledom that Parvati and Shiva share. The two appear vividly alive more than any other pair in myths, regional stories, and art. It is truly remarkable how very riveting this relationship is and what an actively communicative couple they are. Over here, this person over here, standing over here, is a very delightful woman called Stella Tupui. And she was just now claiming that I tell her about India. No. She was telling a very big lie. She has gone to places I have never gone before. And she is remarkable with her knowledge about Hinduism and everything to do with India. Okay, so I asked her, she doesn't ask me. Now, this picture, this particular image, I was so fascinated by that I put the image on my very first book, which is called Encountering Shivaism. This person here, nobody knew who he was, but I found an inscription lying close to him. And in that inscription, it was stated that Shiva is not worshipped in his phallic form. Shiva in this particular place is worshipped as an image, and they sort of like described it, not exactly the way it is, and that we worship his feet, not just the phallus, okay? And he is called Vankeshwar. Now, when you look at the meaning of Vankeshwara, Vankeshwara means the lord of pilferers, the lord of robbers, dacoits. And that evidence of Vankeshwara is there in the old text, that Shiva himself was a pilferer. You know, he was always the marginalized deity, the one who was always castigated, the one who was always denigrated. So he was a worshipper of all the marginalized people, right? So this is supposed to be Vankeshwara, and it is extremely interesting the way there is a conglomeration of different kinds of features in his very being. Now, if you look at it here, right on the top, he has a turban of snakes. Okay, the hair is very important. He has that turban of snakes, and here he has two peacocks as ears. He has a lizard as his nose. He has a crab over here near his chin, and then you come down. He has these faces over here. And believe it or not, I don't want to be too funny here, but the penis is a tortoise. Okay, so it comes out, it goes back in. I mean, sorry for all the males here, please don't get embarrassed. But I mean, look at the sense of humor of the ancient Hindus. This is a tortoise. Okay, and what my dear friend Stella pointed out to me just today, and I had done a PhD with this in mind and I didn't see it. You know, that how they say you keep staring at an image and you'll see something different each time. The testicles are bells. Can you even believe that? Now, how this harkens back, what it tells us. I hope I'm going to be able to show you an image in which Shiva has a bell in one of his hands. Chandalas, untouchables, all those people before they enter a village of high caste Brahmins and high caste people have to ring a bell. They ring a bell so that everyone can scamper away and nobody comes in their way, and then otherwise, God forbid, they'll have to do 10 pujas and have to have a bath. So Shiva is seen with the bell in his hand. And he rings the bell, and he is the god of untouchables. He's the god of the marginalized. He's the god of the outcast. But to have them on his testicles is like something I had never seen. Thank you, Stella, for pointing this out. This is going to make my talks even more colorful. So, yes, Stella, when did you go here?
That was like
4 years ago?
Yeah, something like that.
So I remember they went and I couldn't accompany them. This is a place, Bilaspur, she says, it's not Bilaspur, it's Chhattisgarh.
It's Chhattisgarh.
Which is now a new state carved out of Madhya Pradesh, where I belong to, where my thesis is done on Madhya Pradesh. And many historians and people are always talking about this now. Who is this? What is this? And I said it's Vankeshwara, but not everyone agrees with that. We don't know who it is. But what it shows us is the tribal element in Madhya Pradesh, the tribal element in all these states are merging with the Brahmanical. And the Brahmanical are taking whatever is hugely popular and making it their own, appropriating it and making it their own. When they can't get the popularity of new gods like Ganesha, they will appropriate and bring a myth around it and make that god a Brahmanical god. That's a constant synthesis happening all the time within Hinduism.